Olies, and welcome back to campus. My name is Judy Techmeyer and I'm the Director of Recreation. And COVID has changed our world in many, many ways, and we want to update you to the new protocols for using Tostrud. First of all, we'd like to encourage you, if you want to be exercising, to be outside, because outside is the best and safest place to be exercising in creating a better, safe environment for our entire campus. But if you are wanting to come inside and coming to Tostrud, we have some new protocols for you to follow. So these protocols are adhering to the CDC and the Minnesota Department of Health and the St. Olaf guidelines that have been set up for us to utilize our spaces on campus in the safest way possible. So I'd like to show you our protocols, and number one, we'd like for you to respect and follow the protocols that we've set up. We also would like for you to wipe down equipment before and after your use. Again, it would be hitting all the touch points, and we'll show you later in the video how to do that. The other part would be face masks. As you can tell that I've got mine on, and that any time that you walk into the building, you must have your mask on. So please follow those protocols. Okay, for the selectorizer weight pieces in the fitness room, here's the big difference for this year is as you want to utilize the selectorizer pieces, we need you to, instead of doing a circuit and doing one rep or one set on each machine and then moving around, we want you to do all of your reps and sets on one machine first and then move to the next one. So again, you're going to contain all of your exercise on one machine before you move to the next one as you move through the selectorizer pieces. So for example, I would be coming to the piece that I want to use. I would go ahead and I would wipe it down first. Again, hitting all the touch points that I would be utilizing. Including all the handles, anywhere that I'd be touching, and making my adjustments. Then I've made my selections, what weights I want. I'll do all my first set, and I would be following the appropriate protocols for that. And if I'm not working hard or exhaling hard, I could still have my mask on like I have right now. We would recommend that you do that. And then once I'm done with my first set, I'm just going to stay on the machine and take my break in between my sets of repetitions. I will wipe down the equipment again. I'd be ready to move to the next piece of equipment. So on the weight equipment, we're not going to worry about the red or green dots, because after each workout time frame for the reservations, the student workers will come in and wipe everything down and disinfect. So then therefore we don't need to worry about the red or green dots for the selectorizer pieces. And then once you've completed the rest of your selectorizer workout, then again take your towel, take it over to the laundry basket for the dirty, stick it in there, and then off you go. But make sure you've got your mask on when you're exiting the room. So the third portion of the fitness room would be the dumbbells and the kettlebells. So everything that you see here in the fitness room stays in the fitness room. That's going to be a big difference for this year as well. None of the dumbbells get to be removed from the fitness room and go elsewhere. The reason for that is to be sure that we can get them clean on a regular basis, and so therefore they need to stay here. So if I want to use the dumbbells as a part of my weight training, I would come over, and if I'm not using a bench, I want to be sure that again I've got my towel, and let's say I'm going to use my 7.5, so I'm going to spray my towel, I'm going to wipe down the dumbbell that I'm going to utilize. I'm going to grab my dumbbells. I'll do my set or my repetitions and do all my sets with them. And when I'm done doing my exercises, I'll replace them where they should go properly on the rack. And then I would go ahead and spray again and wipe them down. And then I would be done with that. Now, if I choose to do a different set of dumbbells, I would repeat the exact same process. If I also decided I would like to use the bench while I'm doing my dumbbell exercises, I would first come over, I would wipe down the bench first. Make sure that's all nice and clean, sanitized. Again, if I want to adjust anything with the bench, make sure that I've got that, and I'm wiping down anything that I'd be touching. I'd go back over, depending on which set of dumbbells I would want to use. I would, let's say maybe I want to use 10s this time. I'll wipe off the dumbbell, grab them, do my exercises in whatever fashion I'm going to do the number of reps and sets that I want to do. As soon as I'm done with my exercises, again, come back over, replace them in the spot where they should be, wipe them down once again, and then I would wipe down the bench. If I'm going to grab a different set and go back and do the bench, I'd wait until I'm completely done with my exercises. Then I would come back over, finish having wiped down that specific set of dumbbells, and then I would go back and wipe down the bench yet again. Then I would be done with that bench, and then if I wanted to use any kettlebells or any other items here, bands, etc., I would make sure that I would do exactly the same procedure. Just wipe down the equipment first. If you're using a bench, do that, and then wipe it down when you're done. Ollies, now we're in the weight room in Tostrud. So the big difference for this year is going to be any of the movable dumbbells, kettlebells, stability balls, med balls, etc. All of this here has to stay in the room. It does not go out into Tostrud Fieldhouse. All the activities and exercises need to be done in this room. So in essence, we are having the weight room be two different sections. So we got the hip sled and the future curl and a couple of benches. This area would be an opportunity for you to sign up for a slot, come in and do your dumbbells, do your kettlebell work, med ball work, whatever, post ball, etc. You can do that on this side of the room. If you decide that you're going to do maybe a couple different, maybe you want to start with a couple 10 pounds, you'll do exactly the same protocol that you did upstairs. You want to use some 10 pounders, you're going to go ahead and rinse and sanitize those first. And let's say you want to do some 10s and you want to do some 15s, and you're going to go to a bench, so you're going to wipe those off first. If you're going to come to the bench, you can also wipe the bench off first as well, so that you're ready to use those. And any part that you're going to touch, so I'm going to go back to exactly the same 10 pounders, pull those over for my bench. I will get my 15 pounders that I'm going to use. Come on over. And then again, I can do all the different exercises I want to on the benches with the different dumbbells. Then when I am done and completed with those, I will put them back exactly where they go. And I would wipe them down just like I did upstairs. back to my 2 sets of dumbbells that I utilize, spray those off, or disinfect them. And then I would go on to the next activity. If I chose to do any of the kettlebells, stability balls, I would do exactly the same thing, or med balls. I bring it out, do my workout with it, wipe it off first, and then wipe it off when I'm done. With hip sled, same thing, you'd wipe down first, and then do your exercises, wipe down the hip sled afterwards. Preacher curl, same thing. Make sure you would wipe the bar also, so it would not only be the elbow pad and the seat, but you would also need to wipe down the bar as well. And any clips that you would use to hold weights on, if you brought these over, you'd want to be sure that, again, you wipe those down as well. So you wipe down the bar when you're completed, and then you make sure you take these off and wipe these down or spray them as well, and then put them back in the appropriate spot on the rack. So disinfect before, disinfect afterwards, then you can move on to the next exercise. Then, if you come in and you want to do a rack and do any of the Olympic lifts and use the free weights. If this is what you like to do, then have you come over, you will be, if you are in the, you're picking a rack, all the weights for this rack or any of the racks would be to the right. So the person on the opposite you could have 2 people working out at the same time. In the set for the right of that person, which would be the left of you, the right of you, the person on this side, that's the set for you. So if I'm going to utilize the bar, Olympic bar, my clips, change things around here. If I don't need a bench, great. If I do need a bench, I can do that. I'll bring the weights out from this side, come use them. I'll do all of my activities in the rack or back here where I'm doing my Olympic lifts. And then when I'm completely done, I'm not gonna bounce back and forth between spots. I'm gonna be in my rack, and then all my activities are done. When I am done, I'll put the weights back on the right side where I got them from, and then I'm responsible for cleaning off the bar, or sanitizing the bar. And then I'd also be responsible for sanitizing my clips, because again, that's what I utilized and I held on to. So I need to make sure that those are good. I would put those back in the appropriate spot. Do that as well. Clean that off. And I would also then hang the bar back up for the next person.